Good morning, everybody. If you're new to the channel, my name is Yun, and this morning I'm going to be putting fertilizer into one of our silage trucks so that we can bring it out to the field for Brent, who is seeding right now, and then he can grab the fertilizer whenever he needs to fill up that drill. Just got it pulled up to the fertilizer bins. Auger's already underneath there. One thing we gotta do, take the tarp off of the truck. You don't want to leave it on by accident while you're going to start loading. It's not a good idea. So we're going to take this tarp off and then get this thing loaded. That's looking pretty good. A couple days ago, we actually stalled this auger out when we were loading out wheat, and I was thinking maybe the air filter was plugged. It wasn't plugged. There was plenty of oil in there. Still don't know why it just randomly stalled out like that. We had loaded at least one hopper on the B train, so it should have been warm enough, but hopefully that doesn't happen again. We're just going to start slow. So you guys can see right here, we have a wire mesh on top of the auger before the fertilizer flows into the auger, just to make sure that it catches all the lumps. You can see right there, there's a whole pile of crap. If that goes through the drill, through one of the runs on the drill, it could plug it up, and then, you know, you might not notice it right away, and you can go down the entire length of the field and not put any fertilizer or seed down, and you don't want that. You want it to be perfect and consistent, and that's why we have this wire mesh, just to catch any chunks that might have formed in this fertilizer bed. All right, let's get this auger going, rev it up a bit. So while we're loading these trucks, I'm just constantly standing here listening to that auger. As soon as it's going to start to draw down and I hear the engine to slow down, I'm going to shut this bin right away. Hopefully it won't stall out. Usually it's good, but just to keep an eye on it, be right ready to shut it off, and that way you can save yourself a bit of work, I guess. So got the truck out to the field. This field is already seeded, so we put it on the seeded ground so that it's not in the way when the drill gets here and tries to do that field. We might now go and grab the seed truck, park it right beside this thing as well. Alright, so we got the drill filled up. We're gonna go rip this thing over beside the other fertilizer truck. So pulling into these fields with these smaller drive-ins, especially with the silage trucks, you really want to get as wide as you can and try and get your truck as straight as possible driving into the field, because these drive-ins are pretty steep, and if you go in at a bit of an angle, you're going to put your truck in a bit of a compromised situation there. You always want to play it as safe as you possibly can. These trucks are a little bit top heavy with the boxes, so you don't want to turn too quick and you want to keep it as straight up as possible. There we go. Well guys, it is the next day and the drill moved to the next field, and when we were out there, I think my dad saw a bit of garbage out in the middle of the field, and he sent me this picture. I'll put it up on the screen here. So apparently somebody from Saskatoon, it looks like, because there's receipts in the garbage, just unloaded in the middle of our field a ton of their garbage. This will sometimes happen, I guess. The closer you get to the city, the more often it happens apparently, but just someone who doesn't want to pay for the garbage removal or whatever, doesn't want to take it to a landfill or pay for it, they just take it outside of the city, find a random field. They actually drove out to the middle of their field and just dropped off an insane amount of garbage there. So we're gonna go and clean it up right now. Dad went over there with the wheel loader. I'll see how much I can fit in my truck, I guess, if we need to, and we'll get to cleaning that mess up. Looks like a pretty decent sized mess, so oh well. Oh, great. Oh, dude. Just all concrete chunks. Straight up nails everywhere. That really sucks. That's pretty rude. Sunday afternoon, eh? Cleaning up someone else's garbage.
Yeah. Oh, it was all fine, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
People these days, you never know. Shit you find in there is hilarious.
Yeah, you guys don't want to know what we found in this pile of garbage, to tell you that much. Like, man. You guys can see all of the bags in the box of my truck there. It's pretty much full. And we also got an entire bucket full, like a really full bucket with the wheel loader of garbage. So there's an insane amount of garbage in there. All kinds of construction materials like concrete, cinder blocks, wood, plywood, all kinds of stuff. There's actually one decent whole sheet of plywood, so you can't, they didn't dump completely worthless crap out there. That sheet of plywood is at least 60 bucks, so hey, that's something, right? I'm definitely gonna go and wash my hands even though I had gloves on. But yeah, we're just gonna keep this pile of garbage separate. We did report it, so in case the RCMP wants to come and check it out, they can. You know, hopefully this doesn't happen to anyone else or happen to us again, because there's nothing you can really do about it other than just clean it up at the end of the day. All right, so we'll keep that separate. My dad will also dump that entire loader bucket here, and just in case someone wants to come and have a look at it, try and figure out who did this, then we have it separate. But we can also just come here again with the wheel loader, scoop it up super easily, and throw it in the dump and just burn it, get rid of it if we have to, if no one's interested in taking a look at it. So that's it for that. So that looks kind of gross. What is this cow eating right now? She just calved this morning, probably 6 or 7 hours ago, and that's her placenta. So that's the bag that was around the calf, inside of the cow, and probably just fell off like a couple minutes ago. And cow's instincts is to go and eat that. And why do they want to eat that? It has a bunch of vitamins and nutrients in it, and that'll help the cow produce some colostrum or some extra vitamins in the milk that's for the calf. That's why we do keep the first 2 milkings separate from the cows, and we pasteurize that and then we give it to calves. Another reason that I heard somewhere, I don't know if it's 100% true, but out in the wild, cows would eat their placentas just so that a predator wouldn't smell it and be able to eat it and then maybe find the baby. They just clean it up right away, they eat it, they get rid of it, and then it's less likely that a predator will know there's a calf around. I don't know if that's true or not, but I found that pretty interesting, and kind of made a bit of sense, I guess. Eet smakelijk. Molly. If you guys remember in the last video, we actually dried some cows off and somehow we forgot to dry a cow off. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it wasn't put on the list. Maybe we mischecked the cows and she was on the list, but we didn't make sure that she was in the group of cows to be dried off. However it happened, we still have one that we got to dry off a couple days later now. It's not the end of the world. She's not producing an insane amount of milk. We sorted her out this morning. It's the PM milking right now, and we're gonna give her dry cow treatment right now. So I'm gonna go and get it from the vet room. It's just a one-off cow. I don't know how we missed it, but sometimes that happens. All right, we're gonna give her treatment, which is right here. She's also gonna get vaccinated, and then I'm gonna go ahead and spray her udder pink just to make sure that her milk doesn't ever end up in the milk tank. Since we're giving her penicillin, we gotta make sure it doesn't end up in the milking tank. And all the milkers here know if there's pink on the cow's udder, like this spray paint, don't milk her into the milk tank, milk her into a pail. Obviously, we should kick her back outside right away as soon as she gets this, as soon as she's done and leaves the parlor. We're gonna lead her straight outside to the dry cow corral. But what if that didn't happen and she just found her way back into the group? We at least know not to milk her in the tank because of this spray paint. Now the spray paint. Well guys, we finished milking up this afternoon, dried that one cow off. We cleaned up a bunch of garbage today and did a few other things. So that is gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.